tell you more about what I do and what I've been busy with. We had a celebration that covers the Earth Day, and it was with National Geographic and my 501c3. So, what I want to cover now is just a brief overview and outline. Welcome to my presentation. And again, this is Phyllis of Second Wind. First topic we want to talk about is the earth and all its wonders and the roots where that comes from. Second topic, I want to show you a brief clip on taking a quick overnight trip virtually. It seems like after this 1 year COVID lockdown, and a lot of people want to just get away. So this is an easy, safe way of getting away. Number three, I want to briefly touch on the National Geographic Earth Day celebration we had a couple days ago. And I want to end it with, again, a walking tour that highlights the source and part of my inspiration for my book on answering the question, why do we need green management? Do we need to appreciate and take care of the earth? And then I'll close out. So again, I mentioned I'm showing this ship out to sea, which gives you a real appreciation of being grounded on land. One of the other presentations I mentioned that only 8% of the deep sea bed has been discovered. And there's so many threats and risks that they're still working on that, but that's a huge amount of territory. 92% of the deep ocean bed, the floor that I showed on the map, has yet to be explored and discovered. And that again explains why it's difficult to find the ocean um, remnants from these wrecks, because some divers have said they have to be of a certain material, I believe a metal component or something solid, otherwise it's wasted away. So that's why I'm showing this image of the ship at sea, and just consideration and appreciation of the amount of risk as well as the success rewards that we've had from venturing out, exploring the earth. And we want to continue that. I think part of this is from my background. As I mentioned, my family's from the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. I found this great map that I want to show in this presentation, and it shows where my family's from, Pascagoula, Mississippi, which is on the eastern end of this Gulf Coast route off of Highway 10. Moss Point is a place my parents would always mention. My grandmother, again, is from Goche, and we would often, as we would drive around on the way to my grandmother's house, we'd see Round Island, the offshore fishing boats, Horn Island, Petit Bois Island, Deep Island. So there are several offshore islands that are relatively close. They're off of close to Biloxi, as well as the casinos that are off the coast of Biloxi. Um, you head east and you're heading to New Orleans. There's a city called Long Beach, past Christian, Bay St. Louis, Waveland, and this is all on the way to New Orleans. So I mentioned before, my parents made sure we visited and stayed in touch with the family, and we would take the train to New Orleans, or we drive in, and from there we take a bus, or if we were driving, just head on straight across. So again, I think that's where my appreciation of the ocean and the outdoors is shown. So I want to show you this quick clip, because as you can see from the image, there's lots of nature. We see a sleeping kitty, and what you'll see next is just an amazing brief video, which is a trip that is a real getaway. It's an overnight trip to Cat Island. So you can look at this family heading out with their gear, taking their boat, and just getting away during COVID times, and in a socially distant manner. So you see them heading out of the bay, out of the dock, heading on out to the Gulf of Mexico. You see they're heading their boat farther out to the open waters, and they're heading over to Cat Island. Now, I'm sure that as you watch this, you can understand the feeling of freedom and feeling of getting away, even if it's for just on this one, it's an overnight camping trip that I want you to understand and appreciate. And I think that's the source of some of my appreciation for nature. So I won't have you watch the whole thing. It's interesting. It's a beautiful view of Cat Island in particular that I always recall seeing as we drove along the Gulf Coast. And I used that as a marker to show I was on my way to visit my aunt in Biloxi. So you can see it's deserted, somewhat deserted. This family's taking an overnight camping trip, and basically you have to take your own gear, pack light, and be ready with whatever you need to make it through. So you see them setting up their tent. We won't watch the whole process. But for me, the best part is just seeing the trip across the bay. They're doing a little fishing with the family, and then they're going to have a meal, camp overnight, and then head on back. And this is, again, a nice virtual getaway trip to Cat Island that someday, possibly, I might be able to make a short boat trip. So they're heading on back. You see another family joining them, but tells you a little bit about where I'm from, and it's the appreciation of outdoors. So again, that's why I have this little visual here to tell you you can really find ways to get away, whether you like it or not, thanks to or because of COVID. So again, I mentioned that National Geographic just had a beautiful Earth Day celebration. I want to show you a great clip because I mentioned that captain had to remember his attack by the whale, and you can help in that story however you can imagine. I can think that perhaps there was a feeling of terror and being frozen in place and being rescued, or any other possible scenarios that you can imagine to help in the story. But that's a preview that National Geographic has a secret of whales coming out this week. I want to show you briefly how beautiful this Earth Day celebration was because we had people from all over the world, including Miss Jessica Nabongo from National Geographic headquarters, Washington, D.C. She said she's visited every single country in the world, and it's inspiring people to keep thinking, keep planning, and keep moving ahead. And she's just talking about her history and her experience exploring the world. There's a beautiful group singing and performing from Norway, and we have again Miss Nabongo, but there was also Miss Jane Goodall, who spent her career in nature, exploring, learning about nature, performance by Yo Yo Ma. So if you have an extra few minutes, you might want to check this out because I love the way they ended it again. Music and nature, perfect combinations of things that I really enjoy. Miss Maggie Rogai also performed her song A Long Time. And there was another great performance with Angelique Cujo, as well as the beautiful scenery of the whales. So I'll show this for a few minutes. There were so many different outstanding performances. It was really something to take your breath away and help you appreciate and preserve what we have here in nature. So I'll keep showing this clip for a few minutes. And again, it's in honor of Earth Day for you to recall and remind yourself. That's what Second Wind is about, some of the things I'm involved with, and it covers the world and the beautiful humans around the world, how we live and cope during COVID times. So I want to show you and highlight the book I wrote while doing my research again, titled Why Green Management? A question, and it based on one of our assignments, was just to go out, do an observation, and start a conversation about why the environment is so important for our survival, for our knowledge, and even, as I mentioned, we have 92% of the Earth's deep floor to explore. So I want to show again another brief clip. This is from a trip, a walking trip that was taken to visit the LA County Arboretum. And it was worth it because I'm not sure how many of you have actually taken that trip, but I want to highlight that now to help you understand what we have around us and how we can appreciate it. And again, just give you a better overview of what Second Wind is about, the things that are still possible. LA County Arboretum is open, I believe, by reservation only, but it certainly is worth a trip. We'll scroll through quickly these commercials so you can get a taste of what blessings we have and opportunities to appreciate nature. This is the jungle area that has bamboo and other plants that they've gathered from around the world. You can go way deep into this area and you'll see the lagoon, the area where they have filmed several jungle scenes, including from the Tarzan series. But just imagine taking a nice outdoor walk. This is another good virtual escape that I'm enjoying. You walk around the Arboretum. Again, you can spend some more time if you like just exploring the grounds. I'll scroll forward to show you can get outdoors as much as you like, and you can also stay undercover if you'd like in this wild jungle area. There's they control and maintain the grounds. They make sure everything is safe. I hope you can recognize this area because this was used to film that TV show Fantasy Island. I don't know if that's from your era or not, but you could Google that. But that's where Hervey and the other gentleman stood on the porch, and he was pointing out the plane. So again, this is a pretty well-known area. It was founded in part of a wealthy man's estate that he donated to LA County, and they've maintained it for public consumption. So, again, walking around, enjoying the scenery. I'll show this a few more minutes just so that you can get a quick escape and imagine what possibilities there are, because that's what I did to write my book on why do we need green management. Here's part of my evidence based research. Here's the evidence for the talking point, and it's part of the observational skills that are very necessary and very critical in terms of academics, in terms of life, because oftentimes if you don't look, you're in bad shape. But again, you can see the beautiful scenery at the LA County Arboretum. I'm glad they've reopened. I'm glad we can make a reservation and go. And I will be over there eventually soon. But they did some great scenery. And you can see here in Hollywood, we're always connected to film. But if you walk far enough and fast enough, you can somehow find your own quiet space. And I love the way that they did this because it gives you a good overview of this huge facility. You can see they're walking towards the area with the flowers arranged. They passed the lagoon area. Now I see they're walking through the palm fronds back to the lagoon area, I believe. So again, I encourage you, check out this walking tour. Check out some of my books. They're on sale on Amazon, and I have some uh, priced on Lulu for more discounts if you want to take advantage of that. Plus, I'm putting those on the public library shelves. That's one of my missions with my nonprofit is to find a way to help give the reading public access to more diverse literature and also achieve my goals. There's over 100,000 libraries in the United States, so we have to do this one at a time. And I'm working on that slowly too. But again, enjoy the walking tour. This is your brief break from the hectic hustle and bustle and this COVID that we're slowly tackling. And again, enjoy yourself. We're walking down this path, enjoying the palm trees, the palm fronds. It's usually not too crowded if you get there at the right time. And there's plenty of benches. That's a good thing that I'm very thankful for. And the fountain is a good highlight to end up the tour. But there's plenty of places to rest, to walk, and there's peacocks all around, as well as wild geese. So it's a joyful, beautiful event that I encourage you. Go check that out. It's affordable too. And I believe all you need is to make your reservations. So, again, I want to thank you again for taking this tour. I'll take you back to the summary slide. As I said, we're talking about my book on Amazon, Why Green Management. Remember, it's an ebook. You can get it on Kindle on your handheld device. And also, I have books on Lulu and Dimox, Ad Libris in Sweden, and as well as Loot for New Zealand. So thank you again. If you have any questions, put your questions in the chat. I'll get back to you. Feel free to send me an email, or also we can connect on LinkedIn. So here's my LinkedIn URL, my other contacts, and I hope you enjoyed this brief Earth Day celebration. So feel free to ask questions. Take your time. And again, I'm very glad that you were able to enjoy and appreciate this chat as well.